What's going on, everyone? My name's Omar. Welcome. Tomorrow, it's the big one. We're playing QPR tomorrow at Loftus Road. We all know that already. In case you didn't know, the fixture's here. 3 o'clock kickoff. Fans are back. Capacity crowds. And I can't put into words how excited I am for tomorrow's game, to be honest. I thought what we'll do is, and we'll make this hopefully a regular occurrence on the channel, obviously give you guys a preview of what we think the starting 11 will be. I say we, it's just my opinion, obviously. I'm not going to necessarily put the team I would pick myself, more so a projected 11 based on, things that are going on. Obviously, form comes into account, injuries, all sorts. But I think it's a good little kind of indication, and also maybe helps to, try and understand what might come our way, to be honest. I like to think I can kind of predict the team that I might go for. It's also a bit of fun because I might get half of it wrong, might get half of it right. And yeah, it's just a good little indication to see what we can expect going into tomorrow's game. I'm certainly expecting a really good performance tomorrow from Millwall. I'm hoping that we can go out all guns blazing with the 2,500 Millwall fans there and just give it a good go, really. And I thought, bit of fun, predict the start 11, and we're using the News at Then squad selector here. Obviously, if you haven't checked it out already, be sure to do so. It's obviously a nice little tool where you can pick players that you want to put in what position. I've set it to the default 5-3-2 formation because we'll play 5-3-2 under Guy Rarrett, and it's going to stick for a little while at least before. I mean, I'm quite kind of glass half full about a lot of things, and I think with what the signings we've made, like George Saville, obviously the midfield being really strong, I think it's a no-brainer really to kind of have the three-man midfield in there. Obviously, McNamara being at wing-back or Marlon Romeo, Scottman on the other side. Obviously, two strikers up front. Jed Wallace kind of obviously takes one position himself. And then a Phobie you can throw into the mix, or Bennett, who unfortunately is injured for tomorrow's game. I think it really does complement the side, and obviously 5 or 6 centre-halves in the club. Jake Cooper, Alex Pearce is one of them. Not necessarily the second name that comes to my mind, but he did for some reason there. Sean Hutchinson, Daniel Ballard. There's a lot of options in there. Murray Wallace. And I think this is the best formation for the squad we have. And obviously, Rarrett's built this formation. I'm definitely keen to see how it works in the league. And I think we might be pleasantly surprised with it. And I'm hoping, like I said, tomorrow's game, we can go one step further and put in a good performance to go with it as well. We'll start in goal. I think it's quite a no-brainer here. Obviously, 3 to pick from: Bartosz Białkowski, George Long, or Ryan Sanford. I think it's a no-brainer. Back-to-back player of the seasons. Clean sheet last week in a pre-season friendly against Ipswich, who's offside. Bartosz Białkowski for me starts in goal. I'll go with the heart of the defence first, and I'm going to go for Sean Hutchinson. I think, again, a no-brainer. Hutch has been obviously an ever-reliant player for us, and I think it showed last season when he was injured for them a couple of games that, he wasn't in the side, lost his place. Well, didn't lose his place, he was obviously injured. And then we shipped 6 goals last game of the season against Coventry, for example. And I think with Sean Hutchinson in the side, that doesn't happen. So I think, he starts for me, obviously, in centre-half. Next to him on left side of centre-half, I'm going to go with Jake Cooper. Left-footed, off-step balance. Obviously, a threat in both boxes. And obviously, an ever-reliant and ever-consistent for us. I think he's got 200 appearances already for the club. And, he's just going on from strength to strength. Still only 25, 26 years of age. And I'm hoping we see even more to come from Cooper this season. Right centre half, I'm going to go for the loanee, Daniel Ballard, on loan from Arsenal. I only saw him in a couple of games, obviously in pre-season. I was impressed with him against Ipswich last Saturday. Obviously, he's only young, but he reminds me a lot of Cooper, similar sort of stature and build. But at the same time, he's got that Arsenal pedigree, obviously being through the academy through the years, can play out from the back. And I think we're going to see a lot of that in tomorrow's game against QPR. Left wing back, I think it picks itself. Obviously, you've got a couple of options in there. I mean, Murray Wallace can do a job left wing back. So could Junior Tienza, but I think it's quite easy to say Scott Malone will play left wing back tomorrow's game. Obviously, looks bomb forward on the left-hand side, be a constant threat, link up with the left central midfielder, who we'll get onto in a minute, and obviously offer that kind of goal threat, as well as provide the opportunities for the forwards in the wide areas. So Scott Malone left wing back for me. Right wing back, I'm going to go with, you've got obviously Marlon Romeo an option, or Danny McNamara. I think Danny Mac deserves the opportunity to start. His performance in the second half of the season after his loan spell at St Johnstone was second to none. Obviously, Millwall fan, loves a tackle. Whilst these are obviously 2 bonuses for me, I know it's not the same for everyone, but what he also offers is energetic, up and down the pitch, and his delivery of the ball is superb. I thought on Saturday at Ipswich he was unlucky not to get an assist or 2. Obviously, one chance in the first half comes to mind where he crossed the ball in for George Saville, and I think we'll see a lot of that, especially tomorrow and going into the season. Holding midfield, contentious one a little bit for me because, I mean, I look at the team, we're really balanced, especially midfield. 6 midfielders to pick from. Obviously, Ben Thompson, Billy Mitchell, George Evans, George Saville, Michael Kifton-Beld, and Ryan Leonard. I think for me, it'll probably be Michael Kifton-Beld in there tomorrow. He played obviously last Saturday against Ipswich, broke up play really well, And whilst he's not necessarily the most gifted ball player of the midfield selection, I think he offers that kind of physicality in midfield that, especially against the side with the likes of Johansson in there, players that like to get on the ball, I think he'll be useful to have tomorrow's game. Break up play and obviously pass the ball on to players that can get on them, kind of get on the ball out wide to Scott Malone or to his counterpart on the left-hand side, George Saville, who is also the option I'd have in now left centre mid. I think, Keith Bell just kind of offers that balance, and he'll sit in front of the back three, yes, and we do have three central defenders there, but I'm hoping Scott Malone and McNamara can bomb forward at times and almost be wingers, and that allows then Keith Bell to drop deeper and kind of offer that support to the back three. George Saville, like I said, left central midfield. Obviously, happy to see him back at the club. He's not necessarily played a 90-minute game yet for the club in pre-season, which obviously is a bit of a concern. Bit of a threat going forward. Obviously, scores goals. Obviously, 10 goals in his last season with Mills, 6 last season with Middlesbrough, in a similar sort of setup, may I add, in the 5-3-2. I think people will be quite surprised about his role involvement. A lot of people might have kind of thought when he first signed that, Keith Bell plays in the left side of centre midfield, and then you've got maybe another holding midfielder here. And we might see that in some games, teams that maybe like to dominate the ball. But I think you'll see a lot of Saville kind of overlapping on the left-hand side, pulling out to the wide, helping Malone, and obviously getting forward and helping the forwards as well. So I think we'll be quite surprised with that. Right centre mids, whilst I'd love to see Ryan Leonard in there, and I think that will be a position for him going into the season, I think because of his injury, and obviously starting pre-season 2 or 3 weeks after most of the squad, I think we're going to see George Evans in there. Obviously, Evans played the other day against Ipswich, and I thought he'd done all right, to be fair. I was kind of nervous about him, thinking, is he going to do the role in midfield? And maybe, a couple of times in pre-season against Arsenal comes to mind, and I think at Gillingham he struggled as well. Arsenal in particular, he lost the ball a couple of times, a bit lackadaisical on the ball. But I thought Ipswich was the best performance I've seen of him pre-season. Hopefully coming good just as the season's about to start. And again, on the right-hand side, team like McNamara kind of coming forward a bit more, but also obviously getting box to box. He's obviously a presence in the air as well. And set pieces, we're looking to score goals from. And obviously, with our sort of height advantage, I'd say, will be definitely a threat going forward in set pieces. Leaves the front two. I think it's a no-brainer. Unfortunate injury to Mason Bennett. Obviously, we've got players to choose from. Afobe, Olafe's obviously injured at the moment. John Daddy Pavardson, Mason Bennett, Matt Smith, and Tom Bradshaw. And obviously Jed Wallace, who plays up front with the formation we'd set up with. I'll put Jed Wallace in first because this man is the key to everything we do. He is our talisman. He's all over the pitch. Obviously, didn't play a couple of games in pre-season. We was all criticising the lack of creativity in the side. He plays last Saturday against Ipswich, involved in all 3 goals. Took the 3rd goal superbly. Yes, he's only got 11 months left now in his contract, and I think we're all shitting ourselves about that, to be honest. But undoubtedly, a team with Wallace in is obviously something more of a threat. He's, I think, going to thrive with the idea of fans being back in the crowd and obviously in the stadium. And I think he'll be a real talisman for us this season. And hopefully, if we're in the top 6 after 10, 15 games, he'll sign that contract. Next to him, I think we're kind of left with no choice. You could probably argue Matt Smith could play, but I think Afobe scoring twice last weekend. He's a threat going forward. Obviously, he presses. He's energetic. He's also quite physical in his play, believe it or not. And his link up well with Wallace on Saturday is obviously encouraging signs. Albeit only 1 game together, I think we're going to see a partnership blossom. Hopefully, he can stay fit. Obviously, last year, at Trabzonspor, was unfortunate to lose his place in the side when they changed manager. I think Eddie Newton left the club, and then obviously Afobe was kind of out the side on the sub bench a lot. But I think with Afobe and Wallace, we might have the partnership we all want and hope it to be going into the championship season. Maybe push us on and be that side to be in the top 6. That's my 11. I thought it'd be a good little fun thing to do. I'll try and do these on a weekly basis or before every game, and obviously give my opinion. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. If you're new around here, be sure to leave a like, comment, give me your feedback on the team. Like I said, I'm happy to go back to anyone and obviously see what you guys think. A lot of this, like I stress, is 5-3-2 based on Rowett and what Rowett's going to go for. I think this is here to stay. And like I said, I think I'm definitely glass half full about it. And I think we will be surprised. If not tomorrow's game, definitely going forward into the next couple of home games. We'll see what this can really offer us going forward. And it's been well worked on in pre-season. They've played it every game. And I think we're going to do it tomorrow. I really do. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like I said, leave a like. I'll be back probably on Sunday to give my player ratings on the game. And obviously we'll have our podcast out later that day as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you soon.